Main responsibility for a coach, I think, would be to have the best interests of their athletes. And that can be anything. I think a coach has many different hats that they wear. They're a trainer, they're a support staff, they're sometimes a psychologist, a counselor, a nutritionist. There's many different hats to wear as a coach, but the main hat is just to be the number one support for those athletes. Sometimes they need a lot of support when they're not doing so well, and sometimes they just need a little bit of support as a high five after a good event. But you have to be supportive of those athletes that you coach. If there's no trust in that relationship, it doesn't matter what you try telling your athlete. It doesn't matter what you try coaching into your athletes. If they're not believing in what you do, if they're not trusting in you, they're not going to be listening to anything you say. So if you could be supportive and show them that you're there for them, that trust is going to be built, and that coaching athlete relationship is going to be a tight bond that you can carry on. I think a world-class coach, what makes a world-class coach is knowledge, knowledge in a wider group or a wider base of techniques and concepts, and that comes from listening to others. I know for myself, I quite often quiz other coaches in the high performance realm and see what they're doing, see how they go about solving issues and problems, and finding out what people in Holland are doing, finding out what people in the USA are doing, in Australia, and using all the knowledge that's given to you from all around the world, and again combining it to what you need. And that's when a coach can really become world class, because they're not just thinking about what's going on around them, but what the bigger picture is. Another thing is trying to be a step ahead of the game. You don't want to be that coach who is just doing what everybody else does, because if you are, you're only going to be as good as everybody else. You want to try to have a little bit of, you know, step outside of the box a little bit. Try different things, try new things, try to implement things that you don't normally do, and to get that extra edge on other athletes. And if you're doing that, I think that's when you start becoming a real world-class coach. Coaching has been my life to me. I started coaching when I was 11 years old, and through that time, it's changed dramatically from being a kid through a teenager to a young adult to what I am now. So coaching has meant many different things to me. Now it's my life. It's what I do. It's what everything that I do on a daily basis is based around is my coaching. Um, it's given me the life that I live. It's given my family the life that they live. Um, Coaching not only has impacted on my professional life, but it's impacted on my personal life. I feel that the level of coaching I've gotten to now reflects on how I'm a father to my kids, and how I can manage situations at home with my own family. Um, and so it's had a big impact on me um, in every aspect of my life. The advice I'd give to any aspiring coach would be to be a sponge. I found that as my own coaching career, there's so much stuff to learn. There's so many different theories and methods and ways that you can coach, that if you just embrace it all and find out what works for yourself, is when you can really get the craft of coaching down. So be open-minded, find out what works from other coaches, and try to use them in your own situations and in your own dealing with athletes. And eventually you're going to find a system that works well for not only you, but the athletes that you're trying to coach.